Hello, Pitch Breakfast. My name is Matt Hudson. I'm the founder of BILDIT. So what is BILDIT? BILDIT is a platform for e-commerce mobile apps. So what does that mean? Well, let me tell you a little story. 8 years ago, I started a company called Belk, large retailer. 4 years in, I took over their mobile app. I had been managing their mobile web. At the time, it was a $9 million mobile app. Not too much, about 2% of their business. Over the course of the next few years, we doubled that revenue, we tripled that revenue. Up to last year, the Belk mobile app with an older skewing customer, regional retailer, $250 million mobile app. It's one of the largest e-commerce mobile apps for Commerce Cloud that exists by itself. So what I learned during that time, managing the team, managing the budget, is that retailers were spending way too much money on their mobile app. So the budget was $2 million in OpEx, $1 million in vendor expenses. And to me as a technologist, that was crazy. Why could Garth spin up a website in a day on Shopify or a few months in a large retailer like he's done in the past, on Commerce Cloud, but in the app world, I need iOS engineers and Android engineers and about half the budget of the website, even though the website does hundreds of millions of dollars or whatever it is. So to me, that was crazy. To me, it was a technology problem. The web had standardization and deep linking, all these cool things, and the app did not. So we found that there was a gap in the market. There's not enough engineers. iOS and Android engineers are expensive. Any of the startups will tell you that. There's no pre-built solution like Shopify or Commerce Cloud or anything like that for mobile apps. And not only that, but retailers wanted to have an app, but only the top 25% did or do, even today. So all of these created a gap in the market that we realized that we could fill. So I went to work building BILDIT. So what's the solution? Well, first we took all those cool ideas from the web, pre-built a mobile app solution, gave them the front end so that open source teams or React or web teams can work on it. We built a fully loaded content management system that some people call the magic, that we actually discovered was a bigger problem than we even realized, and companies are very attracted to it for any mobile app. We manage the app, we manage the code, we train them, we host it, we provide the APIs, and we even provide staff augmentation. And lastly, and most importantly, we partner with integrators just like Dual Boot Partners as an example, or Astound Commerce or others that build on top of our platform, or the IT groups can build on top of our platform, just like they do on web. We took all those same ideas so that we could cut the costs in half and to really kick down the barrier to entry for companies in the mobile app world. Small story, my daughter's 8 years old, she's redhead. When she was born, she very passionate, cried a lot. I spent a lot of time QAing the mobile app, and I realized if it wasn't as easy to check out with one finger holding my daughter, then it's not good enough. And I have a passion for giving that to people, giving them the ability to check out fast, and that's why I care about BILDIT so much, not just about the business. So what's the competitive landscape look like? Well, there's POQ. They're an SDK, cost prohibitive. That's why Belk went away from them while I was working there. PredictSpring moved into point of sale, went away from mobile apps. Bolt, mobile web oriented, not that great for mobile app, not great at all. And Tapcart, really centered around Shopify customers, which are much smaller. Our business is for large retailers, 10 million and above. Really, a sweet spot's probably even 100 million and above, to be honest. So what are our unfair advantages? Spin up our technology in weeks. It works on iOS and Android. We've got a killer network. All the people that left Belk or I've worked with in the past over the years are really good friends of mine that I've been able to tap into, getting Compass Group, Forever 21, Belk, and others. Our price, it's architecture that saved money. Every retailer is looking to decrease costs, not just during the economy, but even before. And we have experience with all the major competitors, which is huge. So what does the market look like? The total available market's about 1.3 million e-commerce sites. About 25,000 of those have $1 million or more in revenue. And overall, our contracts are very big. They're usually in the $100,000 a year up to $300,000 a year. So it's a small market, but it's a big market and it's a bigger opportunity. And our exit strategy is to be sold to somebody like Commerce Cloud, where we would be a solution on top of what they provide to their current customers. Our sales strategy is an important piece. Land and expand, something that we got from the South Carolina Research Authority. We pitch them our content management system. It's very inexpensive. We get in, they learn to trust us. Re-platforming your mobile app's a big deal. We also have a checkout solution and app clip solution. Lastly, we grow that either staff aug or full platform. Once they understand our business and they trust us and they know we can help them grow it, we sell them the $125,000 a year version. What does our team look like? Well, they're very good looking. I've got my partner, Ryan Terry, $100 million in ad sales at Amazon before joining me a couple years ago. A very diverse team all over the world, remote. We've got people in China, Kenya, Indonesia, Pakistan, and several Americans. Really great team, very diverse, and I think they do a great job, and I love them. We've got some great partnerships. What's our traction look like? So for partners, we've got Astound Commerce, $200 million retailer, does Under Armour, Puma, Adidas, other big ones. We just landed a big customer. Next week, I'm going to Mexico. I just booked my flight today for another $1 billion retailer in our portfolio. We've got partnerships with Commerce Cloud, Insight, Commerce Tools, and Wallop, a company in Canada, an agency in Canada. And we've got many other smaller partnerships coming up too. Customer-wise, we've got Belk, obviously. The full checkout is our checkout. The front-end home screen is all our content management system. Compass Group, we do some work for. Miravel and Forever 21, we do strategy for. Thank you. I appreciate your time. I was very lucky. I was very lucky. Very lucky.
Hey, Matt. Good job.
Thank you.
I don't know. I'm a total broken record on this, but so many people don't use the time appropriately, and you nailed it.
I forgot my ask, though. Her timer.
You know what?
Right before my ask.
I stand corrected. You didn't. What's your ask? Terrible presentation. No, I really liked it. I love that you got to. Because when I'm looking at companies, I'm thinking about, first and foremost, it's like, who are you? Like, who are you? And it's not just you. It's like, who is the collective you? Who's involved with this? The second thing is the addressable market. Not and below the addressable market, the realistic short-term market. Like that. Because anyone can stand up and be like, oh, the world, and we're going to go get Google's, we're going to go get Amazon. You're like, no, you're not. So I like that you got to that. And third is the actual idea. And I like how you position it. You obviously have a lot of knowledge. A few things that occurred to me while you were presenting. One was, you said that 84% of these large retailers don't have a mobile app.
Oh, no, they want one. They plan to have one.
They plan to have
Yeah.
one. And then you said by 2021. So you should update that slide at the very least. I don't have any knowledge. Really? 85% of these, are you talking about the big retailers? Like
so it's a metric from Forrester. So the report was in 2021. Okay. And they were saying by 2021, but you're right. It's a little confusing, especially when it's 2023.
Sorry, it's just like, and maybe I misinterpreted. Because your market, what I understand your market to be, is these very, very large. They're doing some number of high $1 million on their, the smallest addressable market that you were going after. And is 85% of those don't have any mobile app like that?
They do. They just it's so there's a couple things. There's a difference between e-commerce companies and the retailers. So that was a retailer number, and also it was older, right? So it's by 2021. So the original was in 2018, whenever it was. So you're right. It's a little bit complicated and confusing.
I'm just going after this because I think it's probably the most important thing when you're starting a company, or you're trying to take it from one step to the next, is it's that market. Demand. It's the market. Because you could have an awesome idea in the wrong timing, and it makes no difference. And I think it's a strength of your personal experience is that you don't have to deal with these wannabes. Like you can go in with experience from Belk. And just say, this is what I did for Belk, a sort of conservative type company, like, this is what I could do for you, Dick's or whoever, and I've used... Sporting goods. Yeah. Right. Or you could be really aggressive with that. I guess if you wanted to be. So yeah, but
That's a great point.
overall, like, you know, I think it was a pretty strong presentation. One more point. You said that we're going after that addressable market. It was the last category, and then and I was like, good, you're focusing. And then you got to that slide where you're just like, well, we have this clip for the massive market. We have this, and then we have this. Like, just go for the big market. Now, you can have a land and expand, but I wouldn't try to have resources like so we can have something for everybody, because that's just going to pull your focus apart.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Great. Thanks.
Thank you.
What he said. No, so I would say most of that also pays you as a non-technical person. I probably caught about 60% of what you were saying. And you threw out a lot of acronyms in there. So I would say as a check writer, he's got a platform to help me fix my e-commerce, which I guess is what I'm supposed to get, but you packed in a lot in there. So I would say from a pace and jargon perspective, it was a little bit dense, but I thought your slides were magnificent.
Thank you. Thank you
So
much.
it was super easy for me to follow through. I can't wait to see when you do the next version of this, now that you've got some customers. It's going to be great to see their experience captured. So I think your next step, your next presentation, when you start talking about their experience, how you capture that is going to work really in your favor, because you are a good pitcher and you present really, really well. So as you evolve this, I would say when you reconstruct, the advice I tend to give to people that are going to be in your next bucket, don't forget your ask, but lead with your traction.
I definitely missed my ask. My ask is we're raising an additional $2 million on top of the $1 million we raised last year at an $8 million valuation. We've got a super angel in New York, and we've got the South Carolina Research Authority currently. But we're particularly looking for people that can come in and help us, a venture capital company that can actually provide us some networking and some real advice, because it is a very technical. I've worked on the technical piece. I've tried my very hardest to pare it down, and I'm almost there. I've almost got it, but the acronyms I get kicked on all the time. But obviously the venture capital companies that we're looking for, we want them to understand our space very well. So that's our ask.
You've done a good job on the balance, to be fair. If you already have raised capital, though, it'd be good to know, we've already raised this or we've secured this, because the one question that anybody that you actually make a formal ask to is going to ask, what have you already raised or who's already invested? Yeah. What's getting, so they're going to want to see that. So then if you've already raised, you've already put in capital, I would say some of your early slides then may not be as necessary anymore. You may be able to pare down some of that front end to talk about what you have raised, what you have secured, and what you've done with the money since. Okay. Because it just tells a more evolving story. Because this, I wouldn't have guessed that you raised any money if that's the case. Yeah. So I would say you're further along than these slides suggest. I would have thought you're preparing to raise money. So you definitely want to talk about, you've already secured capital, you've already da-da-da-da-da. So you're
completed.
Yeah.
Most of the platform's completed, and I did not include that. Yeah.
So you want us to be able to walk away at least with stage of development, because I would have thought you're thinking about the platform, not that, you're in the throes. So make sure an investor walks away with their appropriate timing. So yeah, a little tweak, because it's there. The slides are really well constructed, but take it to the next phase.
Yeah, that's a critical component of who's involved.
Yeah,
you're like, we got $1 million out of this company, and this is what we did with the money, and this is what we're going to do with your money.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. Really important.
Yeah, we've got time for one or maybe two questions from the audience. Anybody? Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so phenomenal job in the past. I think to piggyback on what they said and raising money myself, you're like really close. I think the best thing that is missing is maybe a timeline. So I've always found like when we did pitches, like the investors always came back to the timeline. Like, okay, so here's what you've done. You raised this much. You launched this product.
Yeah.
Here's where we're on the
roadmap.
I think what was really, really interesting is like you said it right off the bat. We're going to exit with a sell. Put that on there. A sign a date, and then
Yep.
sign the milestone and walk away. But then you can, the whole pitch will kind of flow with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, timeline will save you every time to help, these guys kind of visually see
Absolutely.
what you've done and what you're gonna do.
Laura made me do this in 6 minutes, so.
Yeah.
Thank you, it's great.
You have time for one more question? There is one? Yeah.
Are you just targeting brick and mortar retailers, or are you also looking like D2C companies, 3PLs, that kind of space?
So that's a great question. Brick and mortar is sort of a sweet spot because it's easy to convince them that they need mobile app. The omni-channel experience with brick and mortar and saving money is obviously something they're looking to do. However, we will work with any company that has an e-commerce solution. Now, the D2Cs don't usually have an IT department of their own. They usually work with an agency or somebody like Dual Boot as an example. And so we actually partner with the agency that they work with to build it, and we become the platform. But yes, we will work with D2Cs, so Skechers or Hoka or whatever, whoever it is, if they're going D2C, absolutely.
Awesome, and with that, let's give it up for Matt.
Build it. Thank you.